appetites of a lazy carnal glutton, the way he loves food. And so the word is extremely difficult to place within the context unless God modifies it with other things. And here's what he does. He modifies love, this everlasting love, with chords, and he does it by, do I continue love kindness unto you? My love is of the quality that it has to be drawn, and the word to continue is to draw out at length, because what you're doing is literally testing the quality of my love. It is not just simply love that I'm speaking from my lips that have not been tested, because most of us don't want ours tested. What we want is quick reciprocation. I'm going there. And we want right now come back. Most of us don't have love that can be clinical or hospital in its presentation. No, we don't have love that can be a doctor. We don't have love that can heal a broken and a busted up bad attitude individual. No, we're looking to place our love in a vault. We're looking to place our love in a place where it is safeguarded. I cannot risk my love. I cannot place it somewhere where the dividends might not come back quickly, or my investment might be at risk. When I love, I have to place my love intelligently and very carefully to make sure that who I love, my love does not have to be stretched. But the Lord said, with loving kindness have I drawn you. You have tested my love, and you have tested it to the extent that you can only conclude that I love you. There can be no question that I love you, because you have drawn it to its limit. You have pulled it all the way out as far as you can get it, because you have not cooperated. You have not reciprocated. You have not requited any of my love. So I have what you call a draw out at length love. I have what you call a long suffering love. I have enough love to keep coming back even though you keep hurting me. I have enough love not to walk away even though you keep doing what I don't want you to do. And in your being so radical in your behavior, all you have done is confirmed how wonderful my love is. Oh, I feel it here. I feel it. Do you ever want to know the depth of your love? I think not. You would rather love where it is easy. You would rather love where you have no problems. You would rather love where there is no cheating. You would rather love where there's no weak disposition, no funny attitude. And then we will never know your love, because your love would never have been tested where somebody was hurt, somebody was down, somebody was out. But maybe you don't want to love like God loves. Maybe you just want to talk about it. I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. I'm sorry. I got a little personal right there. I'm sorry. Yeah. And so it's a draw out at length love. And it becomes in sharp contradistinction to the love that it is receiving in return. And of course, this raises some major issues in my mind. And that is, if God's love is so intense, I will never understand the pain that he has when his love is not returned. I don't think any of us can understand the intensity of pain that God could have with everlasting love when his love is not returned. We understand the pain of limited love, but do we understand the pain of unlimited love? If unlimited love ever feels some of the pain that I feel in limited love, then God must have an awful big pain when I don't respond like I should. It raises issues of whether or not this kind of love can ever lose its intensity. Is there a time when this love turns against the lovee, like some of our love does? Because if you don't love me back, I begin to hate you. I feel myself sort of Yes, I feel myself, drifting between the duplicity of love and hate. You're causing me a bittersweet relationship with you because my love is bringing me pain. And if I could cut off my love, I could cut off this pain. And since you insist on causing me pain, I'm seeking to cut off this love. And if I cut off this love, I will dislike you with the same intensity that I once loved you. I wonder if God's love could ever lose its intensity. Could it ever switch, or could it change? Could it become something else? Could it want to destroy me with the same intensity it wanted to have me? How can this love be denied if it's that powerful? Can you out evil this kind of love? Can you be so weak that this love won't work? I didn't intend for it to be so intense, but it is. You cannot walk away. Can you walk away from what you love when you love like this? And it even gets a little bit more horrific because now the angels are watching and the demons are rejoicing, and yet still the great heavenly God, everybody's looking at him like a fool, and he's ignoring everybody else for you. He's literally reaching for his own son. I feel something helping me here. He's reaching for his own son because of you. And wouldn't you be a fool to reach for the only begotten because of love? I want you to see. Touch your neighbor, say, do you want to love like that? Do you want to love me like that? Can you love me like that? Do you want somebody to prove the depth of your love? Or would you rather just go on and just enjoy what it is that you're trying to enjoy without being stretched to the limit? But when you love somebody, they stretch you to that limit. And I wonder, do you have enough limit to bring them back around? It raises the issue even further when you look at Jeremiah's portrayal of Israel's reaction to the love of God. And it raises the question, is there anything more painful than unrequited love? Is there anything more painful than to love somebody who doesn't love you back? Is there anything more painful to want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you? Is there anything more painful to want to give up everything you have to somebody who won't even receive it and don't want to give you anything? Is there anything more painful than to expect to live with somebody who doesn't want to live with you? And here is a problem, because Jeremiah paints an ugly picture with the bride of Yahweh, the wife of Jehovah. And he puts it in a group of words that are surrounding the word Ahab. And what he does now is he brings God into the arena where he can compare God to a man and his wife. I want you to notice the time in which this was written. It was the time when men had multiple wives. It was polygamous in its whole status. And at the same time, a woman was killed or completely wiped out if she ever was with somebody else. The attitude then of the day was, if anybody was going to be unfaithful, it was the man. The woman would think 20 times before she was unfaithful. And yet still, here is the wife of Yahweh. Here is Israel, God's wife. And he paints it in the picture of man, woman. And the love is so beautiful and so important. It becomes the illustration of the issues that he wants to raise as it relates to Israel-God relationship. He says, when we started, we were together. And in Jeremiah 2:2, it says, I remember the devotion of your youth, your love as a bride. I remember the honeymoon night. I remember the early part of the marriage. And I'm sure most of us remember early parts of relationships, because in early relationships there are no demands. There is no stretching of love. And an early relationship, it's, well, if you come and go, that's fine. And no questions are asked. Nobody's seeking to find out your business. Nobody's trying to get too deep with their commitments. Nobody's trying to make you do anything. But if you keep on with it, maybe 8 days. I don't know what your time limit is, but if you keep on calling and you keep on visiting and you keep on going out, and God help you if you ever get intimate, then all of a sudden it switches now to the demands. That's why some people jump from one relationship to the other when the demands begin, because they like that period where there are no demands. But don't fool yourself. Whoever's talking about no demands, they're coming. Just hang around long enough. Try to make it 30 days and try to make it 60 days. For God's sake, it's coming after 90 days. Here come the demands. He said, it was fine when we first got married and you responded to the wonder of my deliverance when I brought you out of Egypt, and you danced and rejoiced because you knew how powerful I was and how great I was. And you enjoyed me until you had to face the demands of the wilderness. And you failed to understand that I was leading you through some hard times in order to get you the best times. I was bringing you out with a mighty hand, but you turned on me. The first time you had a challenge, you began to look at me funny and actually wanted to go back into what I brought you out of. If I wanted you to stay with the devil, I'd have left you there. If I knew you loved him like that, but I brought you out anyway because I wanted you with me. And I didn't want you to do anything but give me the glory and recognize that it was I, God, who brought you out. One writer said this love was short-lived. And Jeremiah points out when this picture is replaced with how well you direct your course to seek lovers, so that even to wicked women you have taught your ways. And that's Jeremiah 2:33. I brought you out when you didn't have anything, and I clothed you with the honor of my integrity, and I placed you in a land that was flowing and with milk and honey. You were a slave when I got you, and I brought you out and gave you everything, treated you like a queen. And now that I put you in this new land, instead of lifting me up and giving me glory, you're looking around at the other idols. And every time I look at you, you're laying prostrate before some idol, and you're giving glory and credence to something that is less than me. Oh, I feel it. And now you become so wicked that you don't even need somebody to teach you how to be wicked. You have so transformed yourself that you can teach others how to be wicked. The wife of Jehovah, God puts words in her mouth. Not only do you act like loose and you treat and teach others to be loose, but I heard you when you said in Jeremiah 2:25, I have loved strangers. It's one thing to fall in love with somebody you've been close to, but now you take anybody over me. God, and after them I will go. You should have been worshiping me and lifting me up in the temple and lifting me up in the tabernacle, but rather you with Baal and you with Ashtaroth. You were now moving with the Philistine god Dagon, when I was the one who brought you out. I'm the one who gave you the flax and the corn. I'm the one who blessed your boundaries and kept Nebuchadnezzar and killed Gath-Palisa off your back. And yet still, when you should be cuddled up to me, you're bragging about running with strangers.